you know, our world and our society is finally seeing us as human beings, and the industry is finally pushing us in an equal realm of entertainment. And I'm just so blessed to be a part of it.
What's up, guys? I'm Joe Derick. Welcome back to Drag Us Weekly, a show where we drag each other, drag the queens from RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 6, break down the episode, and as always, you can drag us in the comments below. I am joined by one of my favorite queens of all time. And if you've been watching this series, you know she's a friend of mine, the one and only Miss Eureka.
You found it. Contrary to popular belief, I am a sex magnet.
She is a sex magnet. She proportionizes. She is. I don't care if she's the eliminated queen. She is still an all-star in my book.
I'm the eliminated queen. What are you going to be?
Yes, she is messy. She is gassy. Bossy. Girl. Okay. How did you feel when you got all of those superlatives?
I felt fine. I laugh at it. You know, I think I'm the person I can take a joke. You know, it's all about fun in the room and the energy. And if it's going to make Mama Ru laugh and all of us like break the tension, girl, I can take it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm rubber, you're glue. Everything you say bounces off of me and sticks to you.
I love it so much. All right. Well, let's
It's not very school time, fish.
Yes. All right. So you were, and this isn't a bad thing, you were safe throughout the competition.
Yeah.
Or did it feel like a bad thing in hindsight?
I mean, honestly, it didn't feel bad at first. I was always like, yeah, this is great. I'm in the top 3 every week. I'm doing good. But then you start like hearing from RuPaul and she's like, well, you haven't won a challenge yet. And then everyone else is like, well, you haven't won a challenge yet. And then all of a sudden the voices in your head are like, well, you haven't won a challenge yet. You're like, right. All of a sudden your mind is narrated by Divine. And it's just like, kill. So it can be pressure for sure.
Definitely. Speaking of, was there a challenge you wish you won that you really wish that you're like, I deserve that damn thing?
I really wanted to win the ball challenge just because Big Girls never won the ball challenge. I really pride myself on turning looks as a 500-pound proud Eureka. But, you know, honestly, I was proud of Raja, too. So I don't mind sharing. I think that was one of my biggest things this season is like, it's kind of nice to be able to share the spotlight. It's okay, too. We all have space. You know, we all deserve it.
Definitely. All right, it's time to get into the challenge this week. Well, let's talk about this week's challenge, Drag Tots. How did you feel when you found out that this was going to be this week's challenge?
I thought it was a cool challenge, actually. I was like, damn, another craft challenge. Let me get on the sewing machine. You know, and I actually was kind of reintroduced into my sewing abilities this season because I kind of haven't really sewn in a long time. But it was kind of like a fun little project to be able to like, oh, yeah, I can sew and I can make things. So let's get creative.
Did you feel like you had the confidence to sew or you were like, I have to sort of reteach myself in that moment?
No, it was definitely hard as girl. It was so hard.
With you on the ground with the scissors, I was like, I can't. I'd be the corner with the hot glue gun being like, yeah, I can sew.
It was so hard. And that fabric, it was so much fabric to work with. And I was like, I've got to make it drama. What am I going to do to stand out? And I was like, I'm going to do a 6-foot-long train. And I'm going to do a crown. I'm going to do the most, imagine. But I wanted to keep it glamorous and high fashion. And I was like, Alexandria McQueen is like very high fashion. So how can I take it to that element? I was just trying to do anything I could, grasping at straws to get the win.
No, and I thought you did amazing. And I felt like Ru and Michelle were supportive of your choice to do the villain. Were you happy choosing something different than the other girls? Because I thought it was a strong choice.
Yeah, I always love to go the direction no one else is going to go. That's the point in drag for me is like that's what I love about the Divines. You know what I mean? And those moments in drag, like The Exorcist, it's like, always do something that people aren't expecting. I want people to be like, what's Eureka gonna do next? That's the goal, you know?
Right.
I don't want to be predictable. So I want people to expect Eureka to walk out and do the most.
Definitely. Did you have other options or were you like, I'm doing the villain, this is the look,
No, I immediately was like, everyone's going to go the safe route and like want to be the pretty princess, frilly. How can I stand out? So for me, I was like, the best way to stand out is going to be like, okay, well, there was Donna telling me what to do on the drag Tots, which was Detox's character. I was like, what if she has a bigger sister, you know what I mean, that like has come back to harass her, right? So like now all of a sudden the bully is being bullied. You know, right. I felt like that could be a cool narrative. Plus the villains are always more fun.
Very fun. I also thought it was kind of funny when Michelle was giving you critique. She was like, she wanted your like movements to be bigger. I'm like, did she really tell Eureka to go bigger? Everything you do is like over the top. Over the top.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. You know, the critiques were different, but I also couldn't do a lot in that 6 foot long train. You know, I wasn't going to run around the stage and trip up on it. Right. And I felt like the queen, it was a character choice. The queen was more of like a regal standing above and giving you face, you know?
Yes,
so
right.
It was a character choice.
Definitely. All right. Well, let's talk about this week's runway and the other girls. Aside from the look you did, who was your favorite from the group?
You know, honestly, probably Kylie's. I thought the witch was so good. You know, I definitely loved Raja's too. I mean, all of them were great. I was really shocked at how like fun they all turned out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I like come out as the evil queen villain, imagine, to break up the monotony. They all turned out really cute. I was really shocked by Trinity's though, because she was going one direction and then ended up going this like kitty direction. It was cute.
I was too. I was going to ask you your least favorite look, to be a little shady. And I'm going to say, to start, mine was Trinity. I was surprised. It went a little cosplay for me. And I know we were doing drag Tots sort of animation, but she came out, I was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that for me, my least favorite was probably Tara Bell. It was probably Ginger's just because it was so predictable. You know, I want to see something more different, exciting, but it was good. It was really good, but it was very her wheelhouse. Right. I would love to just see Ginger like do something outside of her wheelhouse, but she knows her brand, honey. She does her thing.
Yeah, everyone definitely sort of made a choice, and Ginger came out and we're like, oh, we're getting Ginger. And it worked.
Yeah. It worked well. She did great.
How was your relationship with Ginger? I felt like you guys got close, but now I'm getting a different read on your face.
No, don't get a different read on my face. I love Ginger to death. I really respect her so much. We're actually really close, honestly. We talk every week. She's been an interesting friend to have during this competition. You know what I mean? Because like we've had to really rely and lean on each other, you know, as bigger queens.
Right.
Just because I didn't like her Tara Bell doesn't mean I don't love her.
Right.
You know, I love her to death. Honestly, she's really been a very supportive sister through this whole experience. And I've been that for her too. It's interesting because we got to see how different we were by working together on this season. And it brought us closer together. Definitely. You know, we were all we had. I loved her. I loved working with her.
I know. I love you too. And I loved watching you two together. So I was glad you guys were cast on All Stars together, because that's fun for us fans to watch. It's like we all know you guys and love you as individuals, but sometimes seeing those friendships and those bonds and then sometimes those feuds is also the fun part. All right, now let's move on to see which queen came out on top. Let's talk about the queen that came out on top was Miss Raja O'Hara. Do you think she deserved it?
I think she just pulled it right out of her ass, honey. And, you know, the magic of Raja is like, you know, what I love about her so much is there are moments where she does get in her head and she gets, she doubts herself. But as soon as she pushes through, it's so inspirational to watch because she just blossoms and it becomes, you know, eyeballs on her hands blossoms. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just so creative and fierce and so fun to watch, even listening backstage, like, because obviously we're not out there watching, but we can hear it, you know, that little like disco jivey, like overture and all that. It was just so fun to even hear.
For sure.
So I had a feeling she was going to do well in the challenge.
Definitely. And if there's a top, there most certainly is a bottom. Well, I was actually surprised. Usually, of course, where there's a top, there's a bottom. And usually there's a bottom too. Ru threw all y'all under the bus and was like, if you're not Raja, you're all on the bottom. Were you surprised?
Yeah. I feel like they do that every season. So I think we were just waiting for that moment. Eventually it was going to be like, there's a top and everyone else is up for elimination. And that was the moment I was dreading because I felt like, you know, because I hadn't won a challenge yet, I was going to be the first one up for elimination, like in their minds. Because we had really built this narrative around challenge wins. And the last couple of weeks, all I kept hearing was like, well, Eureka, you haven't won a challenge. You haven't won a challenge, Eureka. So, and then not winning this challenge, I was like, oh, I'm destined to go.
Right. Did you guys talk throughout this season? It feels like you guys all sort of came together as the cast to agree, like, we're going to be fair. Like, no one be shady. Because no one has done the Naomi Smalls kicking Manila Luzon off moment. Like, we haven't had that, it doesn't seem.
I mean, I think so. I think everyone just really wanted to play with integrity and just who they felt like everyone would have voted for. I think that was what we were really shooting for, is like, let's just play the game the way we feel like all of us would choose this person, etc. Jan got caught up in it because I think she thought that we were all going to vote for Akira that episode, remember?
Right.
And then she fell off. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was like, and with this game, we don't want to piss nobody off. I don't know if it was strategy or what. You know, but I think I voted for who I felt like was supposed to go home that week, regardless of the group in my mind. You know, I kind of kept it as like who I thought was the weakest link. And I took people's information into consideration, but it's like, you know, it's difficult. It is the drama. You know, the voting is the drama of the show.
What I think is funny, because we're obviously 6 seasons into All Stars, what you guys may have already figured out, and I think the fans have sort of figured out too, is that you kind of want to play the game because not only do you want to appease your fellow queen, you don't want to piss off the fans by being the shady that kicked off like the favorite.
Right.
Like there is that aspect.
Be careful. Yeah, you have to be careful. I mean, Trinity said it a lot during our season. Like, she was trying to like play and view it as a fan or as a viewer. But the truth is, you do have to be mindful because people are watching. Millions of people are watching you, darling.
They are watching. And they will come to DragCon and tell you what they think.
And if you get too shady, they will let you know in the .com, Sonny. They won't even wait for DragCon.
Yes. I love it. And finally, it's time to chat about this week's lip sync. So Cameron Michaels came out as the lip sync assassin. Were you excited to see your fellow season 10 sis?
Yeah, I love Cameron. You know, any chance I get to see her, it was exciting to see Cameron on stage again. I was actually jealous because I was like, I wish I could have won this challenge because how iconic would it have been to like, you know, be the redo of, you know, me and Cameron, every lip sync we've ever done, you know, we've both won or lost. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, we've never had that like battle between us again. So it'd be fun to see that happen on TV. So I was like really jealous. I was like, it would have been cool to lip sync against her.
Right.
Because I would have pushed her, you know, me and her, we feed off each other. That would have been a lip sync for your life.
Definitely. With that boom clap, I could have seen you gone into that split, girl.
Oh, we both would have. Yeah. Mama, she would have twirled if I was up there.
Yes, she would have. Tell me your honest thoughts. How did you think, as a viewer, I know you're sort of off to the side, how did you think the lip sync went?
It was a little rough, obviously, because Raja didn't know the song. I don't think Raja expected to win the challenge, which was to her surprise, which is also what is so endearing about Raja, is she just doesn't see how fierce she is sometimes, you know, but I think that was her mistake, is that she really wasn't prepared for the song because in her mind, she was like, I think I can be safe, but I'm not going to win. Right. I think she was in the assumption that someone else was going to win the challenge, but nope, she won. And, you know, so it just made for an awkward lip sync, I think. Yeah. Because she didn't know the words, but Cameron was gorgeous. I think that it would have been fun to see someone like me who was ready to perform, because they would have pushed Cameron to do the most. The most. Because Cameron would have done the most if there was someone out there doing the most, you know? Right.
How much time is in All Stars? Because I think it's obvious in a regular season when you guys are doing Untucked and listening to the song. Mm-hmm. Did Raja not have a ton of time to sort of learn? Because Boom Clap by Charlie XCX isn't necessarily like the most complex song.
I mean, I think, honestly, people think that, when it comes to learning music, if the song doesn't resonate with you, then you're because it's something you really have to memorize. So maybe it's just a song that doesn't resonate with Raja. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't one she knew already. Maybe it's just not one that really resonated with her. It's not her style of music. I don't know. Because I know that there's a lot of times for me too. Also, as a drag queen, I can love a song and I can think I know it backwards and forwards until I perform it one time. I don't know it. It's so weird.
Right. You kind of have to get it out first.
As soon as it becomes a lip sync, it's like you have to do it one time before you can really like own it. So it could even be that where it's like, I bet if she did that now, she'd be on every word. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. I mean, as a viewer though, I felt like I didn't read it as she didn't really know the song. I read it as, oh, she's trying to throw this because she does not want to kick somebody off. Because there's that too. Really?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. That's not how I saw it. I just saw it as she didn't know the song.
I mean, probably.
Like a wants to win the money. I know.
Well, right. I was going to say, get your 5,000.
Mama, no, 10,000.
Oh, 10. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, I know Raja, she likes the coin. Don't for my money. That's my sister. So I didn't see it as that. But I mean, there is some intimidation there for sure when it comes to voting people off.
Right. So tell me about the moment that you found out it was you going home.
I wasn't surprised. I felt like, it was like when a lady knows it's her time to go, she bows out gracefully. Mm-hmm. And she sends love to her sisters and she steps away and she takes whatever opportunity she can. You know what I mean? So it was like one of those moments where it was like, well, this sucks. I don't agree wholeheartedly, but if I'm going to have to tear someone else down to stay, then I should go because I'm not in this game to tear anyone else down.
Right.
I'm in this game to do my best. And if you all don't see me as someone who deserves to stay here because I don't have a challenge win, and honestly, I might have given up on myself a little bit at this point because I was just so exhausted, not winning a challenge week after week after week, being successful but not winning. And I kind of like, this was probably my lowest point of the season for sure, just because I was like, damn, you know what I mean? What do I gotta do?
Right.
Pull that out, mama will get to sucking what y'all want from me.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at, so it was like, if what I'm giving isn't good enough, then maybe it's not my time. So let's go to the house.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know you wanted to come back to All-Star 6 to snatch that crown, but as I've been saying, and all of my friends have been reminding me as we've watched this season, they're like, Eureka already won because We're Here is one of the best shows other than Drag Race about the queens ever. What can you tell us about it coming back? We need it.
Thank you. Honestly, it's coming back later in this year. We're finishing filming season 2. I'm leaving today to film another episode.
Nice.
We've got 2 more left to get in the can to be completely done. It's going to be bigger, better, more emotional, beautiful than ever. I mean, it's just such an honor to be a part of, and to have HBO, the network, representing such a queer cultured series that they're pushing. It's incredible to be a part of. Same as when VH1 picked up Drag Race. It's like, our world and our society is finally seeing us as human beings and the industry is finally pushing us in an equal realm of entertainment. And I'm just so blessed to be a part of it.
I love it. I love you 3 together. Has Shangela given you tips? She's like, girl, let me tell you about not winning All-Stars.
She has not yet, but she will, I believe, this week be the first one to call me to be like, she'll be like, hey, sis, they got the dolls, girl. Did they get the doll? How's the doll feeling, mama? That's very
How's the doll? How's the doll? Wait, so does that mean you didn't tell Bob and Shangela behind the scenes? Like you zipped it up?
No, they're very, Bob and Shangela, especially Bob, they don't want to hear spoilers. They love the show. Right. So they told me immediately, they're like, don't tell me. Erika, especially Bob. Bob was like, Eureka, you ain't allowed to be around me.
That's amazing.
I don't want to know nothing. Yeah, so we're just all huge fans of the show. So we all watch it together when we're on the road.
Right.
You know, we do viewing parties with the crew when we can. It's really amazing.
That's one of my favorite things about this show. I have thousands, but not only you guys like the stars and the queens of the show, you guys are also fans of it, and everyone says that. And I find that so endearing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're huge fans. Huge fans of We're Here. We're huge fans of Drag Race. Like, I mean, this Drag Race is my favorite show. It's been my favorite show for years. Right. It's like everything I love to do. It's drag on TV and it's competition. Yeah. I live. It's like Housewives with drag queens.
Yes, man. Well, I'm going to conclude by asking you about the game within a game, but none of y'all have given me anything cute because I know you guys are sworn to secrecy. Can you tell me anything?
Girl, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. I don't know how people are going to react to it. It's wild. It's too much. It's exciting, and I guess we'll be seeing how you feel about it next week.
Did you really not know until you got the boot?
You know, when they reminded me after I got eliminated, when they explained it to me, I was like, oh yeah, I guess RuPaul did say that the first day. Right. But I had forgotten completely. I had no idea because RuPaul was like, there's also a game within a game. But my mind was like, that's the voting. You know what I mean?
Right.
I put that with the voting thing. So when it was finally at this moment, I was like, what the f*** is going on? And they were like, well, you got another opportunity. I took off running. I said, well, I was ready to go to the house, but honey, if mama's going to give me another door to twirl into, might as well go throw a wig on. So I took off running to get ready. I said, I'm not going to do this, evil queen. Get this thing off of me. It was so hot and heavy. That was a crazy night, so.
I love it. Well, the fans did not forget what RuPaul said on episode 1 because we have been waiting with bated breath all this time. So we're excited to see how it plays out, and I'll be texting you once I figure it out.
Okay, deal.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me know if you like it or not, girl. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just excited to see. That's the thing the truth is we don't even know. So we're all going to find out together.
Right, which is fun. I mean, as I've been talking to with the amazing publicists that work on your show, it's like everyone keeps it under lock and key. Sometimes I feel like RuPaul's the only one that knows what the hell's going on.
Mama, RuPaul might not even know. You know what I mean? RuPaul done forgot. She did. Things. Girl, RuPaul's like, what season are you talking about?
Literally. She's like, as long as the check clears, girl, where's my Emmy?
Like, what country are we in? Okay. Yes, that's Mama Ru.
All right. Well, travel safe. We can't wait for We're Here. And congratulations on an amazing season on All-Star 6.
Thank you, Joe. I love you.
I love you so much. I'll text you soon.
Okay, baby. Bye-bye.
Bye, girl.